Moon Mountain, located at 210 South Kings, right next to the original Beef O'Brady's in Brandon, Florida. It originally started as a juice company online by the original owners because they were making juice themselves and they thought, you know, maybe we can do this. And they ended up being right. So after a I think about a year of success online, they decided it was time to open a retail store. And we're actually just coming up on almost the year anniversary of the retail store as well. We have a lot of accounts, I think just close to 300 accounts of people who order for their shop. I just recently took a trip to Atlanta, and just by chance I went to a music festival and I saw 6 other people vaping Moon Mountain stuff that I'd never met before. Most people decide to start vaping because they want to quit smoking, but I mean, we have people in here that simply like the flavor. They've never smoked a day in their life. They are just interested in it. It's probably one of the most successful forms of alternatives to tobacco. I mean, I've been working here, I think just short of 11 months. I've easily seen 200 to 300 people quit smoking, and that's just me. We have 3 other retail workers plus all the guys that help us fill the juice. I think just recently they put out, I'm not sure who it was by, but it was a medical research saying that since the introduction of vaping by the popular masses, teenage smoking has gone down almost 7%, which is a massive amount of number, and that's US, not just for the state. And thousands of people have quit smoking, and a lot of people are starting to recognize it as a viable way to get away from tobacco and get nicotine without harming yourself or anybody around you. E-liquid, or most people just refer to it as juice or e-juice, however you want to say it, everyone's gonna know what you mean. It's pretty much just a base for nicotine. The main ingredients in it are referred to as PG and VG, propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin. Propylene glycol has been used for a long time in the medicinal field as a long time for antibacterial. Also for a while it was used as an airway stimulant as well. A lot of people, they used to pump it through AC vents at hospitals actually, and vegetable glycerin is just like pretty much a jelly base almost derived from all vegetables. Can I throw in there that there's no water vapor in it? Because that apparently seems to be a very common misconception. You like flavors, right? I'm pretty sure most adults still enjoy flavors. Our most popular ones, we sort of have like a trade stone juice called Captain Comet, which is modeled after Captain Crunch, and that was one of our very popular ones. I'd say probably our close second is Buzzberry, which is just a light berry blend, as well as some of the seasonal ones that we have out for a short period of time. One of my favorite flavors is probably the fruitiest one we carry. It's Buzzberry. I mean, if there's flavored alcohol, why can't there be flavored e-liquid? E-cigarettes and vaporizers, it's sort of like synonymous. E-cigarettes, it's just the most common term for it. A vaporizer is a proper term for it too. Really all they do is they hold e-liquid that contains some level of nicotine, and you fire it and you vape it, and it hopefully helps you keep away from tobacco. Most people refer to it as vaping. Normally, if you step in any retail vape store and you say smoking, someone will correct you, but 9 times out of 10, it's vaping. You have some sort of battery that's gonna be delivering a certain amount of voltage to what's called a coil, which is essentially what does the vaporizing and holds the juice. In a very simple way, you'll have like a tank or something like that, and you have a wick and a coil, and it wicks the juice onto the coil heats up to be vaporized, and you inhale it. We don't offer any dry herb alternatives or anything like that, simply because that's not legal in our state. Other states may offer it, we really don't. Dry herb essentially works the same way, where you have some form of battery supplying power to a coil which heats up, but instead of e-liquid, you're gonna be using some form of dry herb substance like rosemary, thyme, potpourri, whatever people like to use. But it works pretty much in the same way, it just replaces the e-liquid. If you're using entry-level things, they're very, very simple, very easy to get a hold of. Once you start getting into some of the higher mods, like mechanical mods and stuff like that, naturally anything dealing with electricity is gonna be dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing, you have to be pretty unknowledgeable about what you're doing to A, hurt yourself, and B, when you come in, if you're getting any of these devices, we explain them extremely thoroughly. There's a lot of information on the internet as well, and we make sure that you know what you need to know to stay safe when you leave. We try to educate people as much as we can about what we do, and I mean, a lot of people have come in with misconceptions about, you know, is there water in this? Is this dangerous in any way? What's wrong with this? Like it's too good to be true. But I mean, we all do our research. We all feel very, very passionately about this, so we all make sure we give people all the education we can. You have to be 18. It's still a nicotine dispensing product, so it's still regulated as you have to be at least 18. Besides the age limit, there's no regulations in effect per se, but there are a lot of proposed regulations, and vaping has a very, very strong community. So a lot of these, some of them are very, very unfair. Like, for example, you can't use flavoring, or there can't be any nicotine or anything like that. We have such a large community that we're actually turning down most of those and getting them rewritten. But as of right now, there's no major regulations imposing upon us. I mean, of course, as this gets larger, there will be a lot of regulation. But as for right now, it's still a pretty rapidly growing market, but also a pretty new market. Nicotine in extremely high dosages can actually be considered a toxin, but in low dosage like we use, it's actually just considered a normal stimulant. Naturally, you're not gonna wanna expose babies to stimulants in the first place. I mean, you see how they act on sugar, let alone nicotine. We use strictly glass bottles, child-proof, tamper-proof caps, all that stuff. I mean, at this point, if people don't have that, they're just very far behind. We market our juice as a premium juice, and our juice is very, very popular, but in order to keep that sort of standard, we try to make sure everything is as perfect as it can be. Nicotine is, by all intents and purposes, technically a toxin, so we want to make sure we're keeping that as perfectly consistent as we can. Same thing with switching to glass from plastic, making sure the flavor stays as pure as we can, using only medical grade equipment when we're back there, making sure everything's covered, making sure it's all food grade equipment that we're using as well with the flavoring, and buying the best, most organic nicotine we can possibly find. The guys that work back there, they wear a lab coat, gloves, sterile gloves, booties for their shoes, hairnets, face masks, like everything. That whole room is almost 100% sterile. Vaping can get pretty expensive if you go to the hobbyist side of it. Starting up can be anywhere from like as low as $10 to about $30. You really don't need that much to get into it. More entry-level people, they'll maybe spend 10 bucks every 2 or 3 weeks, which is astonishing less than someone who's a pack-a-day smoker. Me, I obviously use a lot more juice, and I'm always around it, so the price isn't really a difficulty anymore, but most people I'd say would use, on average, in about 2 weeks, 30 mils, which we offer 30 mils for $16. Some people use less, some people use more. I feel like we have a little bit more of men coming in here, but I also feel like that's more men smoke than I've seen women smoke. But at the same time, we do get a sizable amount of females that come in here and smoke, and not even just entry-level stuff. There's a lot of girls who use mods. There's a lot of people all over who vape, who are completely different genders, different ethnicities. It's pretty much unanimous at this point. I started smoking very, very early, about 12 years old. I got involved with the music scene, played music for a long time, and I was always around older people. So I ended up smoking around the age of 12 or 13. I smoked for about 4 or 5 years. I'm 19 years old right now, so I quit like right on the turn of my 18th birthday. Someone got me an e-cigarette, and I had no idea what it was. Like, it wasn't very popular or anything like that during the time, so I didn't really have any help or anything. But I found myself some juice, figured out how everything worked from the internet and tinkering, and I ended up quitting smoking. I haven't touched a cigarette since my birthday, my 18th birthday, almost a year and a half ago. And since then, I've just fallen in love with it. There's a lot of innovation, a lot of different things, a lot of tinkering to do, but it's just so fun meeting people through that community. We have some of the coolest people on the planet, I feel like, that vape. You meet some of the nicest people, some of the most genuine people, and you get opportunities to come to cool shops, and it's just been a blast since. I've worked here almost 11 months, and I feel like I haven't worked a day in my life.